Hi guys, my name is Syrenvalentine and I'm going to talk about Findom with you guys today. First thing I feel like I need to note is Findom is sex work. These men are getting sexual gratification out of it, and so is the dom, who doesn't get aroused by receiving hundreds of dollars for doing absolutely nothing. Findom is a genuine kink, genuine fetish. It is something that deserves to be appreciated and loved for what it is. I have dabbled in Findom since I was about 18, on and off, and I'm 25 now. Findom also has a large cesspool of other things that you could get into. So, for example, selling your underwear, selling socks, used lingerie, feet pictures, ass pictures. You can choose to go on the more nude side, or you can stay a little bit more modest. I like lewd content. That is me, that's how I've always been. I'm not comfortable with nudity, but I am not the most modest person. I like lewd content, and that is okay, and that is one thing I enjoy about Findom is an established sub will not push you for nude content if they know that you don't provide that type of service. Not one is going to make any less money than the other. It's all just really up to you and what you're comfortable with. That being said, being authentically you is going to attract the subs. Subs can sniff out fake doms just like they can sniff out inexperienced doms. So if you are not being true to yourself and you are copying other doms within the community, your credibility is already going to suffer greatly. And if you can't think for yourself, then you're in the wrong one. Findom isn't going to, it's not going to work for everybody. You either have it or you don't. You have to have some sort of natural dominance, right? Because if not, you cannot fake it. And that's okay. Findom doesn't work out for everybody. And if it doesn't work out for you, there are endless possibilities. You can dip your toes in and see which one works for you best. Now, going back to being authentically you, do not copy doms. Don't do that. Don't steal tweets, don't steal their subs, don't steal their pictures, don't steal their captions. You will get blasted, and again, your credibility will diminish, ultimately just leaving you broke and unoriginal. It is completely okay to take inspiration from doms. I'm sure every dom does. I even take inspiration from established doms that have been around longer than I have. But to blatantly copy a dom, it's just a boundary that you do not cross. I had a dom or a baby dom copy my menu word for word. All they did was just change the font and put their picture over it. I did not like that. I blocked this dom immediately. I notified the group chat and they all blocked her as well. There's nothing wrong with being interested in offering the same services as another dom does. But again, like I said, be original with it. If you want to piss a lot of people off and you want to be a disgrace to the community, go ahead and try to take other doms and subs. That is something that you just, again, is a boundary that you just don't cross. If a sub is owned, they will let it be known that they are. And if you still choose to approach a sub after you know that they are owned, you're stupid to think that they're not going to tell their owner, because they are loyal to their owner and their owner only. Don't do that. Don't be that type of person. Don't be the type of person that goes through a dom's following and follows every account that has no profile picture. If a dom is interacting with a sub that's on the timeline and that's their sub, don't go follow that sub. That is theirs. You will find your own. Findom is financial domination. It is where men who are usually pretty rich, because let's be honest, if you are poor and in the Findom community and you're a sub, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Findom is a quite luxurious kink. More than likely, you are going to be dealing with men who are really high in their company and they're making a lot of money. These are men in power, right? They are higher up in their company. They're the ones that people listen to all day. They come home from work, they're tired, they're stressed, they're hungry, they want to relax. So they go online and they see all these beautiful women who are ready to dominate men like him. It's an exchange of power, right? Because This man worked all day. He was the one in power and everyone else was submitting to him. But as soon as he sees girls like us online, immediately he turns into a puddle on the ground. And he wants to do anything to please her. A lot of men are into Findom because they genuinely believe if it wasn't for their dom that they themselves would get themselves into debt. And that is very true. I have seen it happen multiple times. Whenever a man would leave Findom, they would come back broke. It's just a big exchange of power play, and that's what gets them off. Especially because it involves something as so precious as money. Money has the power to ruin everything. It has the power to ruin you. It's the riskiness of it, right? It's the fantasy of it all, the secretiveness of it. Sometimes some of these subs have wives. They get off by being kind of sneaky about it. Financial domination can be something as simple as telling your sub to send more, and they keep sending more. Or it can kind of lead into more of a sexual fantasy, a sexual desire, which Findom is a sexual desire in itself, but more explicit sexual desires, such as cuckolding, SPH, orgasm control, orgasm denial, ruined orgasm, JOIs, degradation. That is extremely fun. I love those, obviously. Blackmailing as well. Blackmailing is kind of a scary one to get into, but it's also one of my favorites. It is right up there with degradation. But again, it just all feeds into the fantasy aspect of Findom, and that is one thing I love about blackmail. It's just the fantasy of it, of knowing how much control and power I have over this person, and that I could potentially ruin their life if I wanted to. Stuff within that realm, right? It's really up to the dom and the sub to talk about in their own free time and discuss those things together. You need to get to know your sub, and don't expect your sub to do everything, okay? There are different types of subs that you can look for: coffee subs, tattoo subs, gym membership subs. But it's important that you and your sub talk about these things. Hard nose, soft nose, safe words, pet names that they like, because not every sub likes to be called loser, beta, cuck. These are people that you're dealing with at the end of the day. They are all individual people. They are all going to have different interests and different things that they like. So make sure to just talk with your sub and get a feel of each other. And it's okay if you guys don't click. There are many more subs out there, and there are many more doms out there. Once you get really established with your sub and you guys agree that you're good for each other, you can start getting into sessions. I won't go into detail about what sessions are. These will be dependent again on the sub and what you are comfortable with as well. Forming relationships with your subs is key as well. You talk to them throughout the day. What are they doing? How's your vanilla life going? How are your kids? A lot of these subs have kids. Also, aftercare is super important. If you do in real life sessions, or even sometimes video sessions can get pretty intense. So aftercare is definitely an important step. Don't just leave your sub high and dry after a session. That is extremely rude, and I know that doms are dominant women, right? But we aren't bitches. We aren't careless women. Some of them are. There are some doms out there who have blatantly said that they don't give a fuck about their aftercare, and they certainly don't give a fuck about their sub after they finished a session. To me, I don't work like that. I need to make sure that you are emotionally okay, mentally okay, and physically okay as well. And aftercare is extremely important. Findom, the whole point is like ruining their life. Except you don't actually do that. You don't actually drive these people into debt. You don't actually want to ruin their lives and ruin their relationships, and that is certainly something that you should not strive for. If you are a decent human being, you wouldn't want to do that anyways. But I have seen a lot of doms who genuinely just do not give a fuck. They don't care, and they will completely ruin a sub's life to the point of no return. And that is not something that you want to be a part of. And if it is, then I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be here. Some people will just take it too far and they don't know when to stop, nor do they care. And I hate that. There have been so many subs that have come to me and told me about their horrible experience with their last dom, and it upsets me because there was no need for it to ever get that far. And these are men dealing with inexperienced doms. Consistency is key whenever it comes to Findom. You're not going to get subs within the first month, 2 months, hell, maybe even 6 months. But if you're consistent, the subs will come and they will be good to you. But you need to be good to them as well. So, again, I think I've covered everything, and if I didn't, and there's something you want to hear me talk about more in depth, let me know. And good luck, guys. See you next time.